comparison between the psychology and the spirit. So the term psychology, what does the term psychology point to? The term psychology points to the activities that take place in one's head. The term psychology points to the mental activities that happen in our minds. So the term psychology points to your thoughts, imaginations, dreams, and mental calculations, and all ideations in one's mind. So the term psychology points to the things that have been recorded in the mind, or the things collected in the mind, and that are utilized for future use, or for creating imaginations, dreams, and future plans. So the psychology happens in an individual's brain. So the next term is the term spirit. So what does the term spirit point to? The term spirit points to that animating factor, that animating force that is found in all living forms. So this spirit is that vitality, that vigor, that vivacity that is found in all living forms. So the spirit is found within every living form, in animals, in birds, in plants, in all these living forms. That which you notice as life in them is the spirit. This is shared by all living forms, despite of their diversities. So the spirit is holistic. The spirit is holy in the sense that it's all inclusive. The spirit is noticeable as the life force, as that vital force that animates through all diverse living forms. So the spirit is found in all diverse living forms that you can notice to possess life. That which you notice as life in any living form, that's the spirit in that living form. It might be a fish, it might be a bird, it might be a worm, it might be insects, it might be bees, it might be plants. That which is life in them, that which is the animating force in these living forms, is the spirit. This spirit we've said is holy in the sense that it's holistic, it's all inclusive. All diverse living forms share one life spirit, life-giving spirit. So this life-giving spirit gives life to all diverse living forms that you know. So any living form that you might consider to be possessing life, then it has a spirit, or the spirit in it is that which you notice and refer to as the life in that living form. So the spirit is found in all diverse living forms, while the psychology happens in an individual's brain. So your mindset, or the things that you imagine in your mind, the things that you create in your brain, these are the psychological realm. These consist the psychological realm. So the psychological realm happens in form of memories, thoughts, imaginations, ideations, mental creations, while the spirit is that which shapes you from the womb to while you are growing up, to the state of you aging, and also facilitates the decomposition of all diverse living forms. So this life-giving spirit gives a living form life from scratch, and facilitates its digestion, facilitates its growth, facilitates its aging, facilitates its fruition and reproduction. So this life-giving spirit, this spirit is the life force within each and every living form, while the psychological realm is a realm that is only found in an individual brain. So an individual thoughts, an individual plans, an individual imaginations, an individual's brains, or dreams and thoughts and mental calculations, this consists the psychological realm, or consists the psychology, while that which facilitates an individual from scratch to decomposition, that is that life-giving force, that is that life-giving spirit, that is that animating force that is noticeable within each and every living form. This is the uniting factor, or the uniting force within each and every living thing. So as the spirit, we are one, we are holy, we are whole, we are one living spirit within diverse living bodies or living forms. So when identified with the spirit, one sees no difference between him and another living form. All living forms are extensions of one's self as the spirit, or as the life-giving spirit, or as the animating force within all living forms. So as the spirit, one is holistic. As the spirit, one is within each and every living form. One is that life force that is noticeable in any tree, in any plant, in any animal, in any human, in any, as far as it's living, that which is life in it connects it with all other diverse living forms. So as life, we are one. As the spirit, we are one. But as the psychology, then we differ. As the psychology, your thoughts are not another person's thoughts. The individual perceiving these contents thoughts are not the thoughts of the neighbor or another person. So as the psychology, we are divided. As the psychology, we are trapped in our mental creations, in our heads, in our ideations, in our minds. But as the spirit, we are that animating force, that one uniting animating force, that holistic and all-inclusive animating force that expresses itself through diversities of species, through diversities of living forms. So as the spirit, all living forms are one. As the spirit, all living forms are holy and are united by the life within each and every one of them. So as the spirit, we are holistic. We are that one holistic life essence within each and every living form. As the spirit, we are the animating force expressing itself through all our diversities. So identified with the spirit, then one sees all living forms, all living species as manifesting one noticeable spirit, one noticeable life force, one noticeable life essence that you notice even in species that you've seen for the first time. As far as you can notice the life in them, then that which you notice as life, or that which makes you call them as living, is the spirit within them. It might be a plant you've seen for the first time, but if in that plant you notice it to be living, then that which you notice as life in that plant is the same that is life in you, and it's the same that is life in all diverse living species. So the spirit is holistic. The spirit never dies, because even the people of the ancient days, even the people who lived 5,000 years ago, while they lived, the animating force within them was at work. The animating force will continue as far as there are living forms in this planet. So living forms are a proof that the spirit lives on after each and every living form. But the psychology only survives while the individual brain is surviving. So the moment one dies, the psychological realm ceases, because the psychological realm requires a functioning brain. The psychological realm requires blood supply. The psychological realm requires oxygen supply. The psychological realm requires nutrient supply. So the psychological realm can only persist as far as the body is intact, as far as the body is in this individual state. So the psychological realm requires the spirit to function. The spirit within each and every living form facilitates that individual living form's ideas, imaginations, dreams, calculations. So the spirit is within each and every living form. Is that holistic life force within each and every living form that enables the brain to function, and the brain to facilitate thoughts, imaginations, and all psychological activities. So the psychology depends on the spirit to be. The psychology, the individuality, depends on the life-giving spirit that gives life to all diverse living forms. So the spirit and the psychology should not confuse you. One is holistic while another is individualistic. One is found within each and every living form, be it a worm, be it a fly, be it bees, be it plants, be it human beings, be it your enemies, be it your friends, be it the shopkeeper, be it the pilot, be it the podcaster, be it a TikToker, be it a YouTuber. In all these diverse living forms, there is the one life force. There is the life that is noticeable in them. That life is the spirit within each and every living form. As the spirit, one abides as the life of the world, or as the life that never dies, that is always manifesting through diversities of forms, yet remaining life. So the life in you is the same that can be noticed in the life in an animal. Is the same life that you notice in a plant. Is the same life that you notice in flies. Is the same life that you notice in worms. So as life, you are all inclusive. You are broader. You are boundless. You are within each and every living form that is in this planet and that has ever lived. So the life within each and every living form is the spirit, while the thoughts of an individual living form, especially humans, because the psychology happens in human beings. The psychological realm is most noticed in human beings. So human beings create dreams, create imaginations, create all these mental creations. So the psychology mostly is seen in human beings, while the spirit is seen in anything that you might notice and recognize as to possess life. That which you notice as life within any living form is the spirit. That which you notice in every living form is the spirit, is the animating force within us all. So as the spirit, we are one life force. We are one living spirit. just extending and expressing through diversities of forms. So that's the biggest difference between the spirit and the psychology or the psychological realm. We've said the spirit is immortal, is holistic, while the psychological realm only exists while your brain is intact. Your psychological realm only exists while your brain is awake. The moment you sleep, or you faint or go into deep sleep, then your psychological realm ceases. But the spirit in you continues to manifest even in a carcass. Even in a carcass, there are very many and multiple of microorganisms. So in those microorganisms, there is life. There is that animating force that was animating through that dead living form while it lived. So the life survives past the death of an individual living form, in the sense that life continues to persist and manifest in diversities of forms that manifest in a dead carcass. So even in a dead carcass, even in a rotting living organism, there are very many microorganisms that manifest and prove that life or the spirit or the living spirit persists past an individual living form's end. So an individual living form consists the spirit. The spirit manifests in each and every living form, while the psychological realm only acts within human brains or within individual living brains.